What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Gwent video. As you see on the screen in front of you, my name is Icedskye, and we are going to be hopping into ranked for the first time. As you see, I got rank 2 right next to my level 11. I'm assuming it's because I did pretty good in all the casual matches that I played. I basically went undefeated, and I guess the game decided to give me a decent enough starting rank. So we will see how that goes today. Let's hop right into the matches. Alright, in our first game, here we go, the usual mulligan. I'm going to be getting rid of these 2 foglets in our hand. Since we have 2 crones in our hand as well, it would be wise to mulligan them off. There's no sense in having a duplicate that I'm just going to draw from my deck anyway. We only have 1 Vran Warrior and only 2 Nekker Warriors, but it's not that big of a deal. I believe our opponent's probably going to be using a summoning deck, which is going to be sending things to his graveyard, sending and reviving them from his graveyard, excuse me. So the usual starting play is going to be Vran Warrior into Nekker. It's going to take one of our Nekkers out of our deck, which is going to be perfectly fine because we have the 2 Nekker Warriors, which is going to add 4 more. By the time those 4 go into our deck, we'll be left with roughly 4 or 5, depending on how many turns pass. Now, our opponent's using Torrential Rain. That's pretty confusing, and that I guess he assumes because I'm a monster deck that I'm only going to be using attacking monsters, but we know we have the crones in our deck, which are siege monsters, so we're going to be able to take advantage of him blowing Torrential Rain and basically giving us 20 free attack with no other defense. So we're going into the next turn with 27 attack. Our opponent only has 18. We're probably going to be passing here. We've used our Vran Warrior. We've used 2 Nekker Warriors. We've already taken out 2 Nekkers from our deck. There's no sense in continuing. If we pass here, we're going to have a 2-card advantage. And there's really nothing that our opponent can do from there to win. Yes, he's going to win the round. And that doesn't really do anything. Him playing the Priestess of Freya actually loses him the game because our Vran Warrior effect triggers, our Nekker comes out of our deck, he thinks it's a tie, but because of our Vran Warrior, we actually still take the lead for the round. So we're 3 cards ahead, yeah, and he surrenders, getting out of this game early. There was really nothing that he could have done there to really win the game. He misplayed pretty hard. Let's see how many points we actually get. We get plus 47. So now we're only 97 away from rank 3. Okay, so our second game at rank 2 is against a Dagon monster deck. Dagon is the hero that I want to get next. He'll probably be in the next video that we get. Of course, the usual mulligan, getting rid of these foglets. I'll also be getting rid of the foglets for the next monster video. Now we have 3 Vran Warriors in our deck, which is not optimal. We're going to go ahead and mulligan away those. I think the rest of the hand is looking pretty good. There's really nothing else to mulligan away, so we're going to go ahead and take the starting hand, play Vran into Nekker Warrior. Only having 1 Nekker Warrior is really suspect, but we do have, he plays Scorch, which is perfectly fine. We have the other Nekker Warrior, or the other Vran in our hand, so only having 1 Nekker Warrior hurts, but we do have the multiplier in our hand, which will carry us through rounds 2 and 3. We have the, obviously we see the Monster's Nest. Now I think the play next turn is going to be playing Vran Warrior. We'll see he already played his Monster Nest, so he's playing a very similar type of deck, which is the Nekker Warrior deck. I think what we can do now is Ekamara our Nekker Warrior, and then past the turn we'll go into round 2 with an 11 attack monster, and his board will be clear except for the Nekkers that he brings from his deck. But that'll thin out his deck. It doesn't seem like he has Nekkers or Nekker Warriors in his hand, or else I think he would have played them. So he has a Vran. He's going to be going into the next round with the Vran, but we can cleaver that, continue the board presence, and then play a Vran of our own if we really feel the need to keep up the pressure. So he plays Ghoul. It's kind of a, I'm not going to say a weak Ghoul, but it does get wasted as all of his Nekkers are going to be going to the graveyard. His Vran's going to be going to the graveyard. He should still only have 2 left in his deck, so he's not going to have an amazing board presence. We're going to have the 5 attack card. He's going to have the 9 attack card, obviously, as well as the Nekker presence. But with our Monster's Nest and Commander's Horn, I believe we can easily retake the board presence. So let's see what our 2 draws are. Our Foglet, which is a dead draw, and our Catachan, that is the new card that we put into our deck for this video. Now, Catachan is you take anything from either graveyard and absorb its power. It's literally the exact same as Ghoul, but it's a straight up better version of Ghoul. So what we're going to be doing here is playing Vran in order to start the trend of the Nekkers. We can lead Vran into Monster's Nest, which is going to duplicate our Nekkers substantially, which is what he did, is how he gained the board presence. But we're going to retake the board presence with our Monster's Nest into Commander's Horn, because Vran's going to continuously pump out those Nekkers from our deck that we've accumulated over the past couple turns. See, we're already back up to 33, and that's without playing Monster's Nest. So our opponent plays Biting Frost, which is Dagon's hero power. She can play any weather effect on the board, and that's fine enough for us. We have the 3 Crones to stay alive. We have the 3 Crones to regain our power. His Commander's Horn puts him up to 40, but our Commander's Horn is going to basically counteract his Commander's Horn, and we're getting another Nekker from our deck. So we're up 58 to 40. It would be weird to see him not pass this turn unless he wants to really get rid of all of our cards. In which case, we do have Eridan. Eridan is, of course, he ignores the weather. So yes, he does pass. We're going to be going into the last turn with a bunch of Nekkers on the board. Vran's effect does not trigger, so we are going to keep a Crone on the board, I believe, as well as the other Nekker. No, it's our 1 attack Nekker, but it's going to go up to about 6, I think. Yeah, 6. So we only had 1 Nekker left in our deck. We still have 12 to his 7. We have Ekamara. Ekamara's not really going to do much because we don't have any more Nekkers in our deck. So we could just play Eridan, pass the turn, see what we can Catachan from either graveyard. Him having prize-winning Cow here is really weak because his 9 attack effect isn't going to trigger. So I play Geralt, he plays Geralt, they counteract each other. I still have a huge board presence, as well as Catachan. I'm going to be getting a 8 attack monster from the graveyard. I don't think there's anything more powerful, and there's not. So Catachan's going to be a 6 and an 8, as well as Ekamara coming down on the board with another 6, which is going to continuously buff our Nekkers. And it's not looking like there's going to be anything else that he can do to win this game. Yeah, his last card is Arrakis Behemoth, and we're winning 59 to 34. So 2-0 in ranked, rank 2. Really no competition. This deck continues to win. Let's see how many rank points we actually get from this one match. Something in the 30s is to be about expected. And yeah, 37 again. So we're 60 points off, almost at rank 3, just a couple more wins. So going into tomorrow's video, I am going to have a couple of new cards, a couple of upgraded cards for my deck. As you see, I picked up Dagon, I dropped Arrogant as my hero. Dagon is just going to give us that much more flexibility if we're playing against a deck with a bunch of second tier cards. Then we could play Fog. If we're playing with a bunch of Siege minions, we could play the Torrential Rains effect. If we just need the minion, or if we want to get rid of a Biting Frost, then we could play our First Light card. So it just gives us way more flexibility. We really don't need the 11 attack card for this deck to function. And for tomorrow's video, I'm going to be dropping the Foglets finally. I might keep in Woodland Spirit just for the 10 attack and the extra breedable minions. However, I am going to eventually drop this card and probably pick up another effect. So, until next time, this has been Icedskye. Hit the like button if you liked the video, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys later.